We are back here at Norton High School. Game 1 between the Lancers and the Whittier Wildcats. Lancers lead 17-11. That hits the ceiling, still alive. Norton trying to increase their lead. And a point for the Wildcats. And I'll tell you what, number 18, Angel Afosa of Whittier, has been a force up front. And Afosa will be the one serving. She's responsible for a handful of points for this Wildcat team. The setup. And point Norton. Serving here for Norton is Faith Holloway, one of the 4 seniors on this team. That's a line drive. And point for Norton. They lead 19-12. 6 points away from taking game number 1 for the Lancers. It'll be Holloway again. Another line drive. This one is kept alive by the Wildcats. The setup. Back and forth we go. Another setup. And a nice play by the Lancers. They get to 20. Holloway. Holloway again. Beautiful setup as the ball comes into the stands. 21-12, Norton. They are 4 points away from taking game number 1. And Faith Holloway will serve once more. And another point. That one deflected off the ceiling, back into Whittier territory, as it's a 10-point Norton lead. Holloway. This one is out. That was a nice diving effort on the play by Bella Laverdure. But in the end, it's a 23-12 Norton lead. They are 2 points away from taking game number 1. 1 point away from taking game number 1. And Holloway will look to close it for the Lancers here in the first game. And Norton takes game 1, 25-12. The teams will switch sides, and we'll be back in just a few moments for the start of game number 2. We're back here at Norton High School in Norton, Massachusetts for game number 2 between the Whittier Wildcats and the Norton Lancers. The Lancers took game number 1 by a score of 25-12, and they start off game number 2 the same way they started off game number 1. Nora Watrous to serve. That one falls flat. That was like a sinker. Made it over the net and then just sunk right to the ground. 2-0 Lancers. Again, it's a best of 5 and first 1 to 25 for each game. The Lancers took game number 1. And they're off to a 2-0 start here in game number 2. And point to the Lancers, as it looks like the Wildcats may have hit that from under the net. 3-0 Lancers. Watrous to serve. There's the setup. Nice save by the Wildcats, keeping it alive. Lancers trying to respond. And it is out. Another Lancer point. Four nothing Norton, looking to make it 5. The setup, and that is out. Wildcats with the point. Some substitutions being made for both teams. And serving this one on the left side of the court is Bella Laverger. Laverger, the serve. And that one falls flat. A Wildcat point. So after what was a 4-0 Norton lead, suddenly the Wildcats have cut in half. Laverger to serve again. The setup, the spike, nice play made by the Lancers. Beautiful spike by Amanda Calhoun, the junior, up front. Serving this one will be Lucy Pariccio. Kept alive by Whittier. And that's going to hit the net. It's a 6-2 Norton lead. Pariccio again. Doesn't make it over. Norton lead. 7-2. Pariccio again. Looking to make an 8-2 Norton lead. Here's the setup. And that one goes out. Instead, it's going to be a 7-3 Norton lead. But a chance for the Wildcats to try to gain some momentum back on their side. Looks like it's Angel Afasa who will be serving for Whittier. Afasa delivers. This one falls short of making it over the net, and it's another Whittier point. 7-4, Norton lead here in game number 2. Afasa to serve again. Around the world we go, but it falls short of making it over the net. And the Lancers get point number 8. Faith Holloway to serve. Now she's the one who closed it out for the Lancers in game number 2 with what felt like 10 straight points. I think it was probably 6. But that streak will not continue here as the Wildcats gain point number 5. Caitlin Hurley to serve. Hurley launches this over the net. Norton responding. Oh, what a beautiful play, and that's another nice spike by Amanda Calhoun, responsible for several points for the Lancers tonight. And Calhoun will have the pleasure to serve now. Looked like that one was going to fall out, but Whittier saves it anyways. Nonetheless, Norton trying to keep it alive. They don't, and it's a Wildcat point. 9-8 in favor of the Lancers here in game number 2. And serving for the Wildcats will be number 14, Kaylee Habib. Habib. That one is in. And Wildcats find themselves down 9-7. Norton let that go, thinking it was going to fall out. Instead, it barely falls in, and it results in point number 7 for the Wildcats. That one, again, dangerously close to going out. You can tell Norton thought about letting it go for a split second. They don't, and here we are now with another Wildcat point. The Wildcats have clawed their way back into this one as they find themselves down by 1. Habib the serve. It's a rocket. Lancers trying to end this point streak of Whittier. And they do. It is 10-8 Norton. And serving this one will be Molly Carter. Carter from the right side of the court. Barely gets it over the net. It skimmed it. Wildcats trying to respond. They can't. And it's 11-3 Norton. Carter serves it. And a nice play made by the Wildcats up front. 11-9 Norton. And serving this one for the Wildcats will be Julia Tavares. She's had a busy night tonight. Been on the court a lot. Now serving for the Wildcats. And a Norton point. Looked like that was Bella Rich up front going up against Angel Afosa, whom of which has been terrific for the Wildcats tonight. But it was Bella Rich who got the better of the ball and the Norton point. Meanwhile, this is a Wildcat point. They get to double digits, and it's a 12-10 Norton lead here in game number 2. Some substitutions are made for both teams. Helen Russell checks back in for Norton. Callie Nadeau will be serving for the Wildcats. Nadeau lets it go. The setup. Oh, what a play made by Norton. That was terrific. It's a 13-10 lead. And it will be Nora Watras serving again. Watras heaves this one over. Falling short of the net. 14-10 Norton. Watras makes it 15-10. Watras again. Wildcats looking for a response here. It is set up by Norton. Diving are the Wildcats. Trying to keep it alive and gain some momentum back on their side. Norton trying to keep momentum. Played around it. Oh, what a beautiful play made by the Wildcats. The Lancers couldn't respond. And it's 15-11 Norton. And perhaps that was the break that the Wildcats needed. Bella Laverger to serve. She sends it over. Up high in the air. Back and forth we go. Both teams trying to set something up here with a series of volleys. Beautiful diving effort by the Lancers. Wildcats trying to respond. Suddenly it has shifted towards the middle, but it's going to be a Norton point. (16-11). That was a line drive of a serve. Falling flat, Norton point. It's Catherine Reese with that serve. She'll be serving again. And it's 17-11. Reese sending it over. Beautiful play at the net. And it's a Norton point. 18-11. And Norton finds themselves 7 points away from taking game number 2. Reese again. 19-11 Lancers. And it's starting to look awfully familiar to the ending of game number 1, where the game was close until Norton just went on this streak of getting about 8 to 11 straight points from their serves. And the Wildcats just never had a chance to see a serve again. And just as I'm saying that, it's 20-11 Norton. They now find themselves 5 points away from taking game number 2. They took game 1 by a score of 25-12. Wildcats looking to get a point here, and they don't. It's out of bounds. 21-11 Norton. Catherine Reese, the sophomore. And there's the Wildcat point that they needed. Faith Holloway, it looks like, was going for that massive spike to make it a 22-11 lead. Instead, it falls short. The Wildcats gain point number 12 here in game 2. Angel Lafosa with the serve. Falls in between some Wildcat players. And it's 22-12 Norton. Norton is 3 points away from taking game number 2. Trying to close out game number 2 will be Faith Holloway. We'll see if she can do it for the second game in a row. That one hits the basketball backboard that's up on top of the ceiling. Meanwhile, we play on. Nice play made by the Wildcats. That looked like it was a Fosa again. (22-13) Norton lead. Caitlin Hurley to serve for Whittier. Norton point, 23-13. It'll be Amanda Calhoun looking to close it out and get the final 2 points of this game for the Lancers. Barely keeping it alive are the Wildcats. Oh, diving effort by Norton. Wildcats get the point. Nice effort there by Lucy Paricchio. And over the last few minutes, it's been a back-and-forth battle. Whittier finds themselves down by 9 here in Game 2, so they do need to pull off a run. And it looks like that's what Coach Paul Bonasoro is going to talk about. We'll be right back in a few moments from Norton High School. Back here in Norton, Massachusetts for game number 2. Right now it is a 23-14 Lancer lead over the Whittier Wildcats. The Lancers took game number 1 by a score of 25-12. They're looking to close out game number 2, but the Wildcats are keeping themselves alive. And coming back from a Wildcat timeout, it's going to be a point for the Lancers, and it is now the game point of game number 2 for Norton. Serving this will be Molly Carter. And checking into the game for the Lancers, looks like it's Annalise Barros. This one is knocked up high by Tavares. Barros to Tavares. Trying to set it up are the Wildcats. Nice diving effort by the Lancers. They keep it alive. Ball is still up in the air. Wild sequence of events. And the point goes to the Wildcats. So it's 24-15. Tavares will serve from way beyond yonder. It's away. Falling flat, another Wildcat point. 24-16. Wildcats make a sub as they bring back Angel Afosa up front, where she has made her presence known tonight. And after a brief discussion, we are back here for game 2, and it looks like the Lancers were just awarded a point, and I believe that's going to conclude game number 2. And I'll be honest, I'm not entirely sure what happened, but in any event, the Lancers take game number 2 in this best-of-5 series, so they are just one win away from winning tonight, and game 3 will begin in just a few moments. The stage is set for game number 3 here at Norton High School. Lancers took games 1 and 2, now looking for the clean sweep, taking game number 3 here. The Wildcats will give it all they've got. Back and forth we go. Great way to start out game number 3. Games 1 and 2 both started with a Norton point. Let's see if the Wildcats can change their fortunes. Nice sequence of events as this one is gently lofted over and corralled by the Lancers. They'll send it back, but it's out of bounds, and it's a 1-0 Wildcat lead. And that's how Whittier wanted to start game number 3 here. And serving will be Callie Nadeau. Nadeau sends it for a ride. And we're tied at 1. Substitution is made for the Lancers, and it looks like checking in and serving will be 29 Lucy Paricchio. Paricchio sends this one over. High into the sky, but not over the net. 2-1 Norton. Paricchio with serve number 2 here in game number 3. It is kept alive. Gabriella Graham for Norton has been all over the place tonight. This one hits the net and falls into Lancer territory. We're squared at 2. Serving for the Wildcats will be Angel Ifosa. Ifosa sends this one out of bounds. It'll be a Norton point. Holloway to serve for the Lancers. Faith Holloway doesn't make it over the net. We're tied at 3. Bella Lavarger will be sending this one over for the Wildcats. Wow, that goes out of bounds, and it's a 4-3 Norton lead. So after we started with a beautiful sequence of events that lasted for what felt like a whole minute, eventually resulting in a Wildcat point, it's been quick point after point after point for both teams. Both teams now looking to try to settle in as they crowd midcourt right by the net. And point goes to the Wildcats. And we're knotted at 4 here in game number 3. This serve will be Caitlin Hurley. Hurley sending it over. Falling short in between 2 Wildcats, and it's a 5-4 Norton lead. Molly Carter will be serving. The serve from Carter. It's a line drive. Wildcats with a nice response so far here in game 3. This one is knocked out of play. A 6-4 Lancer lead. Carter to serve again. Carter, another line drive. The spike, falling flat, and it's 7-4 Norton. Carter looking to keep up the momentum for the Lancers. That's back-to-back-to-back line drives. Nice setup. Beautiful response by the Wildcats. We play on. Another beautiful setup. Doesn't make it over. Wildcat point. 7-5 Norton lead. Julia Tavares will be serving. Tavares launches it. Diving effort made on the play there by Laney Santomassino. Diving effort again by the Wildcats. This time it won't do. Norton lead 8-5. And checking into the game is Helen Russell. Russell will now be serving as well for the Lancers. Russell, the senior, sending it over. Tavares launches it high. Back into Norton territory. Looking for the setup. Oh, and it's going to be a Norton point that would have gone out of play, but Tavares got a piece of it, and it's going to be a Norton point. They lead 9-5. Helen Russell once again with the serve. This one is launched high and kind of an awkward angle. That was going to be a very tough play for Kalisha Gilbert. And it's now 10-5. Back and forth at midcourt. The setup. This one is out of play. 11-5. Angel Afosa, who's had a great night tonight. It's a little too much mustard on that one, and it sails out of play. Russell, the serve. The setup, and the point for the Lancers. 12-5 Norton lead here in Game 3. And a timeout is called by Coach Bonasaro of Whittier. Game 3 from Norton, Massachusetts. We'll be back in just a few moments. We're back here. Game number 3 from Norton High School. Lancers have a 2-0 lead over Whittier. They currently lead in Game 3 by a score of 12-5. And it's now 13-5 Lancers. It's been Helen Russell with the serves as of late for the Lancers. And the game started out going back and forth, but over the last few moments, it has been nothing but Lancer. 14-5. And again, with volleyball, it's best 3 out of 5. So if Norton takes this game, then that'll be it for the night. Wildcats looking to gain some momentum back on their side. Ifosa will send it over. Lancers trying to set up a play. They do. It falls flat on the Whittier side of things. And it's a 10-point Lancer lead. And, you know, we saw the same thing in games 1 and 2. It's back and forth for the first few moments, but then Norton goes on these tears. Here comes Russell sending it over. It falls short. Keeping it alive are the Wildcats. That may have been huge. Falling short again. It's going to be a Wildcat point. And let's see if Whittier can capitalize. There will be a quick little discussion amongst the Wildcats as checking into the game. And serving now will be Kaylee Habib. Habib sending it over. Ifosa up front. 15-8. Excuse me, 15-7. Here comes Habib with another serve. This one is knocked away, kept alive by Norton, high into the sky. Somehow they get it over into Whittier territory. Nice play set up by the Wildcats. This one is up in the air. Norton somehow keeping it alive. It's been a scramble for the ball. Things settle down. Ifosa sends this one out. 16-7, Norton. And serving here is going to be Bella Rich, the freshman. At least I believe it is number 8. Yes. Not able to make it over. It's a 10-point Lancer lead, and they find themselves 8 points away from taking game number 3 and taking everything tonight. Here comes Rich again with the serve. And a point to Norton. Looks like there was net interference on that play by the Wildcats. 18-7. Out of play, another point. And excuse me, that was Nora Watrous who has been serving. I thought I saw an 8, but it's actually an 11. Further proof that I really need to call my eye doctor. Watrous sends it over, and it's out of play. The Lancers reach 20. They're up 20-7 here in game number 3. And find themselves 5 points away from taking the contest tonight. Watrous. The heave. Wildcats can't send it back over. 21-7. You have to applaud the diving effort there by Bella Laverdure of Whittier. Nora Watrous. The launch. That one just takes an awkward deflection. Julia Tavares looked like she got a good hit on it, and the ball just fell flat. 22-7. Norton is 3 points away. Make that 2 points away. Watrous. Whittier trying to get back into this. They get a point, and it's 23-8. Callie Nadeau will be serving for the Wildcats. She sends it over. The setup. And net interference, it looks like. Norton point. And it's now the game point here in game number 3. If Norton takes this point, they take the contest here tonight. 24-8. Lucy Paricchio, the sophomore, will be serving. And that's it. Norton takes game 3. And that'll do it for tonight's girls varsity matchup between the Whittier Wildcats and the Norton Lancers. Both teams will meet at half court under the net. Yeah, nice show of sportsmanship between both teams. in what was a hard-fought matchup in all 3 games. But again, in the end, the Lancers take games 1, 2, and 3. And that'll do it here from Norton High School. My name is Anthony. This game was brought to you by Norton Media Center. Be sure to check out nortonmediacenter.org and Norton Media Center's YouTube page. Good night, everybody.